So please welcome Father of the Bride, Dino.
One, two. Right, this is not going to take very long because I've been given orders. Mustn't swear and mustn't tell any jokes. So,
No point doing a speech then.
so it's not going to take that long. Right, we get on to thank yous. Like to thank you all for coming and accepting their invitations and making their day special. Yep. I'd like to say thank you to all the people that have done things to make their day special that I don't know about because I have not done much at all.
He's right there.
But there's a special thanks, monkey boy, there's a special thanks for Ella's auntie and uncle, Leonie and Gary, for all they've done here. There's another thank you for Rob, because you have put...
He's coming.
When me and her are going to be we can rest in peace knowing Ella's. Talking of pushing up daisies, not a joke, I'd just like you all to raise your glasses for all our loved ones that are not here today that would have loved to have been here.
To everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. No cheers.
Right,
No cheers.
the next thanks is from you lot to me. Because I made her with a little help. I am so proud of what I made. You couldn't wish for a better daughter. You know, loving, caring. Yeah. One of the caring incidents was Ella was in hospital. She was having a major operation and we used to stay up the hospital, but we had a room. But I always used to go with Ella down to theatre. And when I went down one day, I said to her, look, you're going to be in pain and that, but try not to cry, because if you cry, it upsets your mother. Anyways, the operation was done. Jackie went back to the room and I used to sit with her at night, and she'd come round with all these tubes, everything, you know, and she looked at me and she said, "I've been a good girl, Dad, haven't I? I haven't cried because that would upset her mother, you know," and that's how she's gone through life caring. Yeah. So that's the caring side of her.
You're looking a bit worried now.
Yes.
The funny side, some of them. She's got a bit of a mischief. Two incidents where she had the local services involved. One, we were at home one Saturday, and I used to work long hours, 6 till 6 and 6 till 12 Saturday. And I come home from work Saturday, Jackie was going out shopping and look after the girls. I was sitting in a chair, I was a bit nodding off, and she come up to me and said, "Dad, there's a fire." And I said, "Right, where?" And she pointed out down the garden and the smoke was drifting along. So I said, don't bother. The people nearer will sort it out. So I sat back down in the chair and started to drift off back to sleep again. And I thought I was dreaming. I could hear this when I could hear properly. I could hear this siren, and it was getting louder and louder. And I'm still laying in my chair, and all of a sudden, all hell let loose at the front door. So I went out there, there's 2 fire engines and about 24 firemen want to come through my house to have a look where the fire was. Anyway, one of the main firemen was a relation of ours, and I said to him, "I'm sorry for what happened." And he said, "No, Ella done the right thing." And we were looking for Ella, and her friends were hiding behind the settee. They wouldn't come out. Right, I know that's fine. The other one was involving the police. We were having a caravan holiday down in Hastings, and part of the campsite was on a slope where all the kids were playing. And in the middle of this field was a big electrical drum, the contractor's size drum. Well, all the kids were playing with it, and all of a sudden we're in our van and we heard this little cheering going on. And we looked at the van, and the kids had got this drum up onto the 2 wheels, being on a slope. That's what they cheered about. It rolled through the campsite, across a road, and through the front of a shop door. And they had to call the police to claim off the insurance and that. Yeah?
But we couldn't find her, could we? We couldn't find her.
No.
Look beyond the city.
Like with Ella,
Did you look beyond the city?
we done so much together when she was younger. She was like the son I didn't know. Football, motor racing, camping. I even got her into drinking in a pub. Before she was 12 months old, I used to take her up my local. But when we used to, one of her fond memories was when we go to the Grand Prix, she just loved flying up the M1 in a 1985 Sherpa camper with the Eagles blasting out, life in the fast lane. It was no. We had great times there in that van, and another one of her memories was that van was very small, and we had a double blow-up bed that we used to sleep on, and of course, Ella being a bit more
Bigger.
heavier than me. When I was in bed, there was, she just used to jump on the bed to see if I could hit the roof. Right, they were the good things.
We don't have bad things.
I don't think there's much more I'm gonna. Oh, no.
Sunday morning.
When I started this off, I said I've been given my orders. Yeah, mustn't tell jokes, but people that really know me know I'm going to tell a joke. Yeah? Well,
Go for it, dear.
not so much a joke. It might be a bit of info for Rob.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Too late now, Rob.
You do know when you get married, your sex life does change drastically. Yeah? Actually, you know, my sex life at the moment is non-existent. I was working in the garden last week and I sprained my wrist.
And then he broke.
I'll leave you on that and hope you'll have a good time and just enjoy it and make their day special.
Please welcome your Groove Rob.
Your wrist gets better. I need this.
Now you said I wonder if you did to see something like you did.
Yeah.
You right, everyone? Thank you all for coming. I don't mind admitting, when I knew I had to make a speech, I felt a little bit nervous, you know. So, what is it they say about public speaking? You know, if you're nervous, just imagine the audience all in their underwear.
You'll be sick.
Maybe not. On second thoughts, maybe I'll just read something that I printed out.
That is raining.
Oh, that's a good bit. Yeah. Actually, maybe I'll read it out loud. So, firstly, thank you all for coming. Thank you for managing to make it down that road. You know, there's potholes bigger than craters on the moon down there, so I appreciate you all making it. I'd like to thank my new in-laws, Dino and Jackie. Without you, Ella wouldn't be here. So,
Well, Dino's not
Nina
here.
and I. On behalf of Ella, I'd like to thank you both for the unconditional love and support that you've given her throughout her life, for every time that you've held her hand and told her it would be okay. I'd like to thank you for putting up with me throughout lockdown and for welcoming me into your family.
We weren't that
I'd like to thank my parents. I'd like to thank my mum and dad for being amazing. I don't say it enough, but I love you both, and without you, I wouldn't be the man I am today. So I thank you both for your love and support. I'd like to thank the bridesmaids, Kelly and Tash. You both look amazing, despite Ella being colourblind and having no dress sense. Thank you both for helping Ella through today. I'd like to thank my groomsmen, Chris, Matt, Yvonne, Lex. Your friendship and support have been invaluable throughout this journey. Thank you all for standing with me today. I'd like to thank our flower girl Connie and our page boy Oliver. I'd like to thank Ken and Paul for doing the photos
You ain't seen our photos
and for putting up with all of Ella's demands. And I know Dino's already said it, but we'd like to say it ourselves. We'd like to thank Gary and Leonie, but especially Leonie, for all our hard work on making well, everything really, from the cake to the flowers to the decorations. I'd especially like to thank them for the sweetie table, and I call dibs on the wine and guns. We really appreciate everything that you've done for us both, and we can't thank you enough. Last but not least, I'd like to thank my wife Ella. You look beautiful today and every day. You are my best friend and partner. You're the best friend and partner that anyone could hope for. You laugh like Muttley and your sense of humour is filthy. You are kind and loving and you'll do absolutely anything for your family. I'd like to thank you for saying yes, even though I proposed as you were coming out of the bathroom. You really make me a better person. You give me confidence, and if I have any troubles or worries, you always help me face them. You light up any room that you're in. I mean, quite literally, as you turn on all the lights in the house, it never turns off. I'd like to thank you for dealing with all the organising of the wedding. So all I had to do was turn up and write this speech. Thank you for the last 5 amazing years, and for all the amazing years yet to come. Ladies and gentlemen, please will you join me in raising a toast to my wonderful wife, Ella. To Ella. I've been dreading most. I think I've got to hand over to my groomsmen, Chris and Matt.
Right.
Oliver.
Please come round here. Round here, darling.
Hello everyone. A lot of you probably don't know me, so I think I'll do a little bit of an intro to start. I'm Chris, and I've got the incredible honour of being one of Rob's groomsmen.
Hi, Chris.
Hi. I would also like to sort of extend my thanks to everyone who's been here today. Fantastic to be part of Rob and Ella's special day, and thanks from the bottom of my heart as well as theirs for being part of this incredible day. Now, when Rob first asked me to sort of say a few words, humbling was my first thought. My next one was OSHIT. It's going to be incredibly nerve-wracking for me. But then I thought, well, it's probably not as nerve-wracking as when Rob went on his first date with Ella. That turned out fairly okay because we're all here today celebrating their wedding. So I thought, well, I can't really screw this up that much. But we'll see. We'll see. It's a bit of a cliche to say that when someone special comes into someone's life, you see a change in a person. And it's a saying that, you know, behind any great man, there is an even greater woman.
Yes.
And that is absolutely true in this case. I remember when Rob first introduced me to Ella. We went out for a meal. Ella was there. Rob was a changed person that night. You could see it. Outwardly joyous, happy. Just they were bouncing off of each other. It was fantastic. All those traits that have kept us friends for 30 years, 30 something years, all been amplified by Ella. You bring out the best in Rob. You also bring out those traits that Rob really kept hidden during his bachelor days. Who would have thought Rob would have been that tidy and house proud of a person? That was not evident in his bachelor days, but it is now. I just wanted to probably spend a few minutes telling you a few things about Rob, so that you might not know. He's kept well hidden. So you wouldn't probably know that Rob's a bit of an adventurous person, bit of an explorer at heart. If you've ever had the privilege of going round to Rob and Ella's home, you'll get a glimpse of that when you look in the back garden. Now, it's taken many years for Rob to cultivate that undiscovered country in the back garden, but he has. There is a sign-up sheet in the bar for anyone who wants to sign up and help us cut all of that stuff down, which we will do. But another memory about that Explorer days was Cologne, early 2000s. So we were in Germany. We were in one of those shops that sells absolutely everything, from weaponry to candy and chocolate. I remember looking out one eye and seeing Rob yielding a machete. I think it was the largest one in the store, like he was hacking through Amazonian rainforest. At the other eye, I saw the store owner reaching under the counter for either a panic button or a weapon of some description. as we didn't really want to get locked up in a gulag on our first sort of foreign holiday, in steps fellow groomsman Matt, who speaks German. Well, speaks German is a bit of an exaggeration. He knows 1 or 2 words. In he stepped to try and diffuse the situation. Now, all good sitcoms that we have of English people gesticulating wildly, talking really loudly. That's how it turned out. Just trying to diffuse the situation. It worked. Rob actually got a hat out of the particular day. We didn't get any polizei interference.
I've still got that hat.
And you still got that hat. Just that panic moment when you see someone wielding a weapon out of one eye and the shopkeeper reaching under the counter in the other.
It's my first machete.
It was fine.
I got excited.
It was fine. Another thing you might not know about Rob, even Rob might not know this, but he's almost laid down a single. So we've got a single kind of track. Now, anyone that's ever shared a room with Rob would know his snoring is legendary. Now, I don't mean it's bad, I mean it's epic. Now, I do pity you, Ella, a little bit, but it is absolutely epic. So, Keith kind of told me a bit of a story back from your university days. So, when it was particularly bad one day, so Keith managed to record some of your snoring. Now, Keith was on a different floor to you. That's kind of how bad this got. So, we managed to keep that. So what we're going to do is we're going to mix that into a little bit of a song if we can. So anyone who's ever seen Ella's Facebook, so Rockin' Robin. So when Rob becomes famous one day, we are going to release a single track of that all mixed in with Rockin' Robin. Now, if you've not seen that on Ella's Facebook page, go there. That's absolute beauty. Absolute beauty. So a couple of other little tidbits before, I get kicked off the stage. So, who hasn't done some embarrassing things when they're drunk? I don't think anyone in this room could probably admit to not doing that. So, who hasn't, almost started a bit of a brawl in a club when they've tried to chat up the girlfriend of someone who was the rugby captain, who also had their entire team in that club. Who hasn't done that? You don't remember that because you were absolutely drunk. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't have done it, would you?
I'm very surprised that I did.
Who hasn't had their eyes wide or eyes well and truly opened when they've gone to, I was going to say a strip club, but in Laysdown it doesn't really qualify as that, does it, to be honest? It stretches the imagination, doesn't it? Who hasn't done those things? When I kind of look Ella at you stunning bride sitting there today, you bring out the best in Rob. You amplify all the good things that have kept us friends for such a long period of time. It's fantastic, and I'm so happy that Rob's got someone as good as you in his life.
Thank you.
Yeah. I've just got to quickly check my notes because I'm slightly off track. So Rob, you've found an absolute gem in Ella. You're truly a lucky person to have Ella in your life, and Ella's lucky to have you in her life. Your love has already made Rob a better person, and you two are going to conquer the world. Now I'll quickly hand over to Matt, who also wants to say a few little words.
Okay.
Now, I know what you're thinking. You wait all day for a speech and then 4 come along at once. Sorry, I've had to write mine down. I'm not as clever as Chris. So I just wanted to add to what Chris has said today and talk a little bit about our friendship with Robin. Now, from looking at the guest list and meeting some of you this afternoon, I am aware that most of you are here from your connections with Ella. And therefore, some of you might be curious as to what this chap Robin is actually like as you welcome him into your family. Well, Chris and I first met Rob way back in 1991. That's a long time ago now. We were in our first year at Sheppey School together, where as teenagers we enjoyed 5 years of friendship and laughter, and obviously we behaved ourselves, even finding time to do a bit of studying. Not a lot. But before we were released back into the world as adults, we had a good time at school together. I think in my head, I first met Robin in a science class. I went in there, he was sat there. He was pretty unmistakable back then. He was a fellow glasses wearer, like me. A little bit less fit than some of the other boys. So we sort of gravitated towards each other. There he was, this guy with a cheeky smile, a great sense of humour, and of course that full head of lush reddish brown hair. And of course our fellow groomsman Ivan, he was a couple of years above us at school, but we all started to socialise together, and along with some other people, a close friendship group was formed. As we moved into adulthood and life took over, other things started to get in the way. Friends old and new have come and gone, other people went separate ways, but the 4 of us have always remained close. And 30 years on, we all still meet up regularly, normally on a Friday night, and we're all well on our way to our dream of becoming the new cast of The Last of the Summer Wine. And I always tell Chris it's compo. So now that I've established how long we've known Robin for, what is he actually like? He hasn't always been the suave and sophisticated avocado importer you see before you today. Now, I know what you're all thinking. Is he a hard worker? Well, Rob was the first of our friendship group to retire. Twice. But there is only so much Call of Duty you can play, so these days he's found back in the workforce. Something about having a wedding to pay for. Secondly, is he determined? Well, I remember a group of us enjoying a night out with him at the local Indian restaurant once, when he was keen to try a particularly hot curry. He really looked like he was done after eating the rice and picking out the meat, but when it was pointed out to him that he'd skipped the sauce, he just mopped his brow and bravely carried on. That's how determined he is. See, Rob, they feel your pain. So what's he like socially? Well, we've been to music festivals together, to comedy clubs, to theatre shows, and numerous meals out, and trips to the cinema, many of those. Some nights have been unforgettable. Not the strip night, that's another story, but we were at the O2 in London when the Pythons did their last performance. I don't know if you've got the DVD of that at home, but if you look carefully, we were 2 specks at the very back. We've also had a few holidays together, both here and abroad, which mostly went well. Apart from that time he pulled the red cord in the hotel bathroom and was rudely interrupted, as well as causing some minor alarm for the staff. Another moment that sticks in my head was seeing him come out of the sea in Menorca in his swimming shorts, looking just like James Bond himself, Daniel Craig, shortly after Casino Royale had come out. You really are a lucky lady, Ella. And I'll send you the photo later, unless Rob pays the right amount, in which case it might get deleted. Lastly, is he good marriage material? Well, Rob is just an incurable romantic. I think he touched on it earlier, but if you really want to know about the details of his romantic proposal to Ella, I'm sure Rob will be happy to share all of the details with you, just as he was with the entire comedy club on his stag do, when the 4 of us went up to London wearing the most fantastic 70s shirts, got to the comedy club and found out that we were seated right at the front. Seriously though, I've known Ella through work for many years, and I can hand on heart tell her that she has struck gold with Robin. He's one of the nicest, sweetest, loyal and most genuine people that I know. And I can tell that she sees him the way we all do. I know he will take good care of Ella and they will have a fantastic life together. And along with Chris and Yvonne, we've all loved seeing him meet someone special that has made him so happy, and we think that they make the perfect couple. Now, I'll hand you back to Chris.
So just leaves for me to kind of give the kind of toast. So if everyone could please raise their glasses. May your marriage be filled with love, laughter and a lifetime of beautiful memories. May you continue to be each other's greatest supporters and confidants. Here's to love, laughter and happily ever after. Rob and Ella.
Yes. And then we get everyone out and then we put your photo on after the start. Is that all right? Yeah. Cut the cake.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the bride is about to cut the cake, and then I will ask we all make our way out of our drinks and personal belongings. So Ella and Rob are going to cut the cake, and then everyone can make their way out if that's okay. You all right?
I've sat down for so long.
What side do you want them?
Whatever, don't mind.
I'll be gentle. Yeah, a little bit.
Sorry, Rob. Are you at stand this side for me? Lovely. Arms around each other. You're right. Then you put your hand on the knife and kind of put it together.
I'll do it in the top bit.
Sorry, darling.
That's all right. No, you can give it to him when you... Yeah, that's fine.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, join me in the countdown, please. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Thank you.
Brilliant.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, please, I'll take your drinks and personal belongings with you, please, and make your way back into the barn. There's tea and coffee waiting for you, so we can turn the room around for the party this evening. Thank you.
Hang on.
Right. Where's your name?
Where's my name? No.
Cool.
I think I've just got to
The
give it to
tapes are
you.
going to stay.
So this is the thing that give to
Sorry.
Oh, Dino, get out of the way.
Get out of the way.
You know, go in the middle.
You've done your bit.
Go in the middle.
Go behind.
Go in the middle. You look like you're about to pop up. All right, everyone.
Did you say pop up or pop off?
Pop up.
Oh, dear.
Brilliant.
Have you got tissue?
After all the work you've done.
No, I don't
No,
know.
it's me crying. It's my nan's ring. Yeah. Oh. Holly's been on my phone.
We've got to go out now, haven't we?
Sorry.
Well, get closer in.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, we're friends.
I know, Chris, that was lovely. Yes, it was good. You stand